Education is not the filling of a pail, it's the lighting of a fire. Education is about inspiring, exciting, engaging someone, starting that spark that has them continuing to go further to ask more questions. That's what we do in education outreach. Students are the foundation of why our program exists. Every kid is going to enter into a world where science is important. One of our goals at HudsonAlpha is to give them the tools to help navigate through that world. Watching a student who suddenly gets it, you see the light bulb go off, and they used one of our kits, or they were in one of our sessions, and suddenly it makes sense. That's a win. There are lots of things that affect how well a student understands content, but we know that one of the primary drivers of how well a student does is how prepared and competent their educator is to cover the content. Many times teachers come to HudsonAlpha, they feel beaten down, and we try to turn that around to you have the power to transform humanity in your hands. We put incredibly exciting materials in front of them and we give them what they need to teach those materials. We see teachers come out of our educational experiences, shoulders back, head raised. I am an educator. I make a difference. We are standing on the edge of a world that will be shaped by genomics in ways we can barely even imagine. Healthcare is a really critical part of that. This whole concept of precision medicine. How do we use genomics to understand what you are at risk for and how you actually design treatment that is specific to your genetic information? We equip healthcare workers across the spectrum, from physicians to nurses to pharmacists and beyond, for what it means to take in and deliver that information, and patients for how they utilize that information. We try to provide genomic information in as many different languages or contexts as we can. In some cases, that's an app that you hold in your hand or a mobile game that you can play. In other cases, it's a book that contains new content that you can read, or it's an invitation to come to a public seminar series. Sometimes it's watching a video or playing with a set of socks that help you understand how chromosomes behave. We look for as many different ways to get genomic literacy across as we possibly can. A student who says, "Wow, I never knew that was what this was for. That's really cool." That's a win. A student who has struggled with a concept and suddenly everything happens, that all falls into place for them. A student who says, "This is the field I want to go into. I want to know more about this." That's a win. We use beads to measure our impact, and each bead represents somebody that has been impacted or touched by one or more things that HudsonAlpha does. I look forward to the day when our reach is not just in Alabama, not just across the country, but is global. And there isn't a jar big enough, or we have to resort to buying sand. That's a day that I know we will truly have achieved our goals of genomic literacy.